Hello everyone, I hope you are all doing good. Even today, I will be discussing about sociology for class 12. In our previous classes, we have discussed, for class 11, and under the topic sociology as a discipline, and this is your first unit, and today we will be discussing about the formalistic and the scientific school of thought and the relationship of sociology with other social sciences. So we will be discussing about that. The first is the formalistic or the specialistic school of thought. So here under this particular group of school of thought, they think that sociology is a pure, which means sociology should be studied as a pure and independent science, not related, or the laws or the theories of sociology should be free from other social sciences, in order to predict or in order to study the society. And that is the reason why the scope of the sociology under the school of thought is narrow. And they also consider that sociology is a specific science, deals with specifically with the society, and they are independent of other sciences, which describes, classifies, analyzes, all types of human interaction or relationship, and that is what that is the concept of this formalistic or specialistic school of thought. Now, the chief proponents, those people who supported this school of thought were George Simmel, Max Weber, Ferdinand Tönnies. So those were the group of people who supported this particular school of thought. And like I've mentioned in a nutshell, they think that sociology is a distinct and a separate social science in order to study the human society. So that is the belief of this school of thought. The next school of thought is called as scientific school of thought. I repeat again, scientific school of thought. Now, obviously they are opposed to this formalistic school of thought, to this traditional school of thought, we can say. Why? Because they think that sociology as a science is a synthesis of social sciences, or it is a general science, which means it studies about the components of varieties of sciences, in order to study the society. It does not just deals with this particular subject alone, but it studies the varieties of sciences, social sciences, which relates to the society. And that is the reason why they say that sociology as a science should be synthesis, and a general science. It should generalize the varieties of sciences, and it is connected even to other sciences as well. Now, that is why it says that it encompasses all areas of life. It does not just deals with one type of human interaction, but with other social institutions and social organizations as well, and embraces all social sciences within its scope. So within this particular range of study, includes all the social sciences, and that is the reason why comparatively this has a wider scope, compared to the formalistic or specialistic school of thought. Now, there are some people who supported this school of thought, and they are Emil Durkheim, which we have discussed in our last class, right? So those were the people who supported this scientific school of thought. Now, the next is the relationship of sociology with other social sciences. What is the relationship of sociology with other social sciences? As we all know, sociology is an independent science, and it is one of the social sciences which studies the human relationship, and every social science, not only sociology, but every other social sciences also have distinct and autonomous, are distinct and autonomous. They are different from each other, and the way they approach their study also, it's a little different. some of the social sciences, okay, which studies the society, deals with the power and its relations, how it runs the government and etc. Some social sciences deals with the production, consumption, distribution, or even the management of resources in the society. But again, there are some other social sciences which also deals with the past, study of the societies, of human societies and everything, their activities and all, right? So those are some of the things, which we have to keep in mind when we talk about the approaches and also the subject matter. The subject matter varies from one social science to the other, okay? And even though they might vary from one to another, they are also closely related to each other, which means if you study about the society, okay, you need to know about the past and the relationship between the economic system of the society, right? So in that way, they are also closely related to each other. So it contributes to the understanding of human society. So all these social sciences, it contributes to the understanding of the society. That is what it means here. Now, the first relationship, of social sciences with sociology is sociology and history. We will be discussing about the sociology and history. Now, like I've mentioned, history deals with the study about the past societies. It studies about the past societies where it maintains or it it studies, okay, in detail about the records, and you try to reconstruct the past human society and tries to understand, okay, and tries to understand the society which existed in the past. And the subject matter of history is also human society, okay, but the concept is mostly about the past societies here, okay. Now, in that way, okay, sociology and they are also related to each other, and there is also a difference between the history and sociology as well. Now, the first difference, okay, is the time frame. Like I mentioned, history deals with the study about the past. Okay, it deals about the events which happened in the past. Okay, but for sociology, okay, it talks about the present society, and it also deals with the past up to a certain limit, up to a certain extent, I should say. So that is one of the basic difference, okay? Time frame, okay? One past, one is the present society, and up to a certain extent, okay, it also study about the past society so that you will get some information about the present society. Next is the sociology deals with the social change, the social phenomena which occurs in the society, which relates to the present scenario, okay? The changes that is taking place in the society due to various factors, okay? It can be technological factors, it can be because of the industries, etc., okay? Now, the next one is it deals with the past events, okay, which has occurred in the past societies. For example, during the time of Mughals, how was the administration? Okay, how did they run the administration, or what were the tax system during the time of the Mughals? Okay, so in that way, they study about a specific event in detail. Okay, about the past. But for sociology, it also deals with the cause and effect relationship as well. Okay, so in that way, okay, there is a certain difference between history and sociology. The next is sociology is a generalizing science and analytical science, and history is a particular science and descriptive science. Okay, it deals, like I've mentioned, sociology studies with all the aspects of the society. Anything that is related to the human society, human relationship is what we study. Administration, it also studies about the impact of the economic factors in the society. Okay, it also talks about the birth rate, the death rate, etc. in the society, right? And also, it is an analytical science. Okay, it also studies about it takes information, okay, which has already been collected and tries to compare the different events and everything. Okay, and here in history, okay, it is a particular science. Why? Because particular science and descriptive science, it studies in detail about a particular event that happened. For example, revolt of 1857, okay, what were its causes and what was the outcome, okay, the results and everything. So it studies about the particular event, okay. But as for sociology, it tries to compare the different events, okay, in the what happened in the past and how is it similar with each other also. So in that way, it makes some analytical studies, okay. So in that way, there is this difference between this history and sociology, okay. Now let's go to the similarities. What are its similarities here? The first is that in order to know about the present society, okay, in order to know about the present scenario, we have to know about the past, right? We have to know about the past. If we do not know from where our ancestors has originated from, or if we want to know about the culture, okay, we have to go to the past, how this particular cultural life of the Nagas has been inherited. So we have to know the past, right? So in that way, sociology also takes the help of history by dealing with the historical data, okay, by taking the help of historical data which is available to them, okay, and thus they come to know about the present society even more in detail, okay. The next is the history, okay, historians also take the sociological perspective, it tries to relate the societies, okay, from one era to the another, okay, and thus in order to know about that in detail, about the sociological aspects or the society of the particular era, okay, they take the sociological perspective in order to study the society, and that is what it means here, okay. So these are the relations and the differences or the similarities or the differences between sociology and history, okay. The next is sociology and political science, okay. Now, like I've mentioned, political science is also a social science, okay, which has a specific subject matter to study, okay. So in that way, it is also related to sociology as well as it has also some difference, okay, with sociology. Now, what is political science here? Here it studies about the political institutions, okay, of the society, okay, political institutions such as the state, the government, okay, or even the judiciary, or even the executive, okay, legislative. So it studies about its function, okay. It's and it deals with all those institutions, okay. It studies about the institutions. And when we talk about political science, okay, it also deals with the concept of power, okay. It also deals with the concept of power. Why? Because every political parties, okay, have a vision, okay, so that they will have power in order to run the government, and that is why power also plays a very important role. Now, what is power here? Okay, here power is the ability of a person to control or force, okay, or force or influence the behavior of others, okay, despite of their resistance. Even though they resist, okay, even though the other people does not agree to them, they force them or they even influence them to agree with them, okay. So this sometimes is illegal also, by any means you have to abide by the rules. So sometimes, okay, people do it illegally, okay, even though you are not willing to do it, you are forced to do it, right? So that is called as power. The next is authority, okay. Authority is a little different here, okay. Authority is also the ability of a person to influence the other, okay, through legal way, okay, through legal way. That is what it means here, or through accepted means, okay. For example, the people who are running the government, okay, they do or they adopt some policies for the people. Why? Because the people have given them the responsibility. That is the rightful means of acquiring the power, right? So the ability of a person, to influence the people, okay, to influence the people by how? By legal way, okay, by legal way, and that is what it means here. So now like I've mentioned, it studies about the power, authority, etc., right? And there are some differences between these two, okay? Now, the basic difference is that, okay, political science, deals with the political institutions. That is what I have mentioned here. But sociology deals with the relationship between those different institutions, okay, those governmental institutions, how the judicial and also the executive are related to each other, and how does it work out in the society, how does it impact the society, right? And also, in order to get into power, okay, they also play a very important role, okay, in order to understand the society. So, it has a difference between this process, okay. So, in that way, okay, we can say that that is one of the difference. So, in a nutshell, we can say that sociology deals with all aspects of the society. Anything that is related to human society is what we study in society. And in political science, it studies the formal organizations, okay, like I mentioned, the state and everything. So it studies in that particular manner. And also it studies about the interrelationship between governmental institutions. Sociology studies about the interrelationship, like I mentioned, the relationship between judiciary and the executive and the government, etc., right? And it studies the power relationship and governmental processes, the policies that they adopt and everything, okay, which has a role to play in the society and everything. And that is what we study under political science. Along with this, okay, there are also some similarities, okay, between these two particular discipline, okay. Now, here, sociology studies the process which enables which enables a group, okay, to come in power, to come into power, or to secure or to wield the power, okay. So, for example, sociology studies about caste in politics, okay. So, how does the caste, play a role in helping the government to run, or to come in power, right? So, in order to know that, okay, they help each other. So, caste in politics is one of them. And both the social sciences, okay, deals with the study of human relationship, okay. They also deals with the human society, okay. So, in that way, they also help each other. So, through sociology, they also know the living condition of the people. The government secures the power. Why? Because you try to understand the the living condition or the concept of the society, what they want in the future. So in that way, it helps them to secure the power, okay. So in a nutshell, okay, sociology and political science, even though they might have a different perspective or different subject matter, okay, but somehow, they are related to each other, and also the concept of study of society is different from one to the another, okay. Now, along with this, in our next class, we will be also discussing about the relationship and the difference between sociology and anthropology, sociology and economics, okay. So those are some of the things we are yet to discuss, and with that, I would also conclude the classes, even in our next class. And yeah, with that, I would like to conclude our classes for today. Thank you so much.